Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin, and it is Saturday, which means it's time for my weekly roundup. Yeah! Jazz hands, spirit fingers! What is my weekly roundup? Well, it's basically, we talk about my week in crafting. We talk about any FOs, finished objects, or whips, works in progress. I have, depending on how you consider it, I considered it 3 finished objects. Some might only consider it 2. It's 3. I met goals, guys. Goals have been met. I finished my Knititude. This is where we were last week. This is where we are now. Done. Wrap me up sweater scarf. I'm going to be honest. I'm having trouble figuring out how to put it on. So, once I practice and figure out how to do that, I will model it. But right now, it is, I know she has various tutorials on her Instagram and whatnot showing you how to put them on. So I will just look at them a little closer. So that is using Hayfield Bonus Glitter. It's a DK weight yarn. I got it from Wool Warehouse on clearance. Spoiler alert, little bingo is a bad influence. And we might have been looking at Wool Warehouse there, and she might have encouraged an order. All I'm saying is, these children are adorable. And she so loves yarn. She very much wants to learn how to use it, just can't yet. So this was the Wrap Me Up Sweater Scarf by Knititude. I'm wondering if one of the issues is just I'm not one size fits all. But here you go. This is what it is. Wrap Me Up Sweater Scarf. I certainly can put it on like this. Like it's a scarf. But yeah, the wrapping me up in it is what's eluding me. But that's okay. We will figure it out. Here's some other pictures of her modeling it. There you go. Also, one of the issues I'm having right now is it's rolling on me. And hers isn't rolling as much. Oh, well, we will figure it out. We will figure it out. Okay, so that is done. That was my first priority project. If you're new around here, it was in my iron flame bag. I get to reclaim that for another project at some point. So if you're new around here, 2025 is my year of tackling it, of taming the beasts, as it were. I have 2 prongs. Number 1, yarn management. I am failing miserably at yarn management. Number 2, if Joann's were not in the situation they are in, I would not be feeling as badly, but I would still be challenged. Number 2 is tackling my whips, getting all of the whips, all the works in progress under control. I have at least 3 bins, and then I've got other like half-done projects for yarn reviews and things all over the place. I need to get them done. I need to get them under control. So I've been nominating 3 projects to have a priority 1, 2, and 3 project going on, and then I have others. I don't dare count my whips because I don't want to know. I know there's a lot, and that's all I need to know. But I know what my priority 1, 2, and 3 are. Knititude, Wrap Me Up Sweater Scarf was priority 1. It is done! Yay! So that means I get to promote a different project to 1, and then we'll have a 2, and then a 3 again. So a new project is going to come into rotation as a priority item. Now, you might say, Erin, what's your other done project? It's not a priority project, but I will show you. So I already put the pattern away. I was on top of it, and yesterday while I was editing my Fridays with Fred video, I was changing over this project bag. So I've been working on socks in my car, in the pickup line when I pick up or drop off the kids at school, and I finished that pair of socks. These are socks I got from a Project for Awesome digital perk, which Project for Awesome is in about a week. If you are a nerd fighter like me, it is time to celebrate. Or not celebrate, I don't know. Okay, so this is what, oh, see, I didn't think it was going to come out on camera, and it's not. It is a, it was an all-over pattern sock with with heels, toes, and cuffs of a solid color. This was an afterthought heel. I really don't like afterthought heels. But it's a houndstooth pattern. The Chomps wanted these. I fear I made them way too long for his feet, but hopefully he'll grow into them and still want them when they fit. But I mean, he's a growing boy and his feet are getting big fast, so we'll see. It's like a houndstooth design. I think you can kind of see it. I was afraid there wasn't enough contrast, but he wanted it, so I did it. Anyway, both of the socks are completed. I Kitchenered up the heel and wove in all of the ends on Friday in the pickup line. So that's good. And then, like I said, I've turned over this bag for the new car project. It's another pair of socks. That pattern, I don't remember the name of it, but it was also by Darcy Anderson. This was a whole like book of socks patterns she included as a perk. These are the froggy socks, and they're cute little stripy socks with a little frog. So another color work. Very cute. She uses 2 different colors. I'm going to change it up and do 3. So I'm going to do, I have this yellow, the sparkle yellow left over from a trilogy yarn set that I did a while back. I did the picnic basket sock using this. I've got a whole lot left over, so this is going to be my heels, toe, and cuff. You can see that her cuff is striped vertically. I'm not doing that. I'm going to do it totally, I'm going to do it solid in this yellow. My frogs will be the leftover seaweed green from my husband's sock, and then the main color is my leftover kind of mint green from this sock, because I had tons of it left over. So this, where you saw the stripies, it's going to be this and this striped, and this will be the frog. And then, like I said, the yellow will be the heels, toes, and cuffs. And I think that's going to be a pretty cute color combo. So that's my plan, Stan. And there we go. I'll cast those on Monday, assuming. Yeah, I can't see why I won't cast those on Monday, but there you go. Those are my finished objects on the week. I mean, I get to reclaim these knitting needles from the Wrap Me Up sweater scarf. Fantastic. US size 8s. I have been struggling mightily with my size 8s. Okay. Let's do this one since it's right in front of me. No, we should go through my new priority projects because, yeah, let's go through my new priority projects. What used to be my second priority project was to get rid of all of the worsted neon lights yarn from Hirschner's that has been sitting in my bedroom. I bought the entire line of yarn to make my kiddos blankets, and I had leftovers. So I've been making scrappy color block blankets with it to get rid of it. This is now becoming my priority 1 project. And I consider the yarn the project, not necessarily the blanket I'm doing. So the goal is to just get rid of that yarn. My second goal for last week was to use all of this ball of yarn. And you might say, Erin, you're holding the empty label. I finished it. I met this goal. So this is all of the colorway neon lights from the Neon Lights yarn. And now I've tied on, and the next yarn I'm using is this very bright orange, which is called Outrageous Orange. And here we go. So here we go. This is a blanket from Creative Grandma. It'll be linked down below. So it's basically roughly a third of the way done if I'm trying to keep it as a square. We'll see. I haven't quite decided yet. I'm just kind of going until I feel like it's a good size, and then I'll put the border on. I don't recall the name of the pattern, but this is basically the lemon peel stitch. So a single followed by a double, and then you end on a half double. And there you go. So chugging ahead. Like I said, this is my priority 1 project. So that yarn is so staticky. I don't understand it. So there you go. Priority 1. My new priority 2 project, which was my priority 3 project, is my Hohi Locatelli Spectre sweater, which I am using my 2023 advent calendar from Ginger Snap Yarns to make. My goal for this last week was to reach the separation for the arms, because it's a top-down sweater. I did it. And I almost ran out of yarn, but I did it. Not that I'm going to run out of yarn in the entire thing, you know. I'm just running. I ran out of that mini skein. So here we go. We got lots of stuff going on here now. Because I don't quite know how to keep the color pattern going through the sleeves and whatnot. So here you go. There's a sleeve. Hello, sleeve. I have not started on the sleeves yet. I have to pick up the stitches. But my idea is I'm going to work the sleeves as I work the body and just try to keep them in tandem as much as possible. So there you go. I think it looks really pretty. Yeah. I think here there was nice kind of blending. We lost the kind of fade there, and then here in the pinks, the fade picked right back up, and I think looks very nice. But I love this. I love this, and I feel so accomplished having gotten to the sleeve separation point, because now it's basically, for the body, it's autopilot. There's no body shaping. It's going to be a straight down. I'm not going to do waist shaping. For the sleeve, still be a little bit of decreases to taper the yarn, but other than that, it's not going to be much. It's basically just knits and purls, keep the pattern going, keep the stitches moving. So I feel like we're doing good. I feel like we've kind of met the coaster mark on that sweater. My new 3rd priority project, which was not a priority project before, is my husband's sweater. I think you maybe would have been able to guess that, but my husband's sweater. I am making him a cardigan using the almond stitch. It is a Bag O Day pattern. It's linked down below, but if you're looking, it's the shawl collar almond stitch sweater. Eric is modeling it. Her husband is modeling it. It's in a mustard harvest gold sweater. I think it's called like the harvest sweater. But here we go. I started the next panel because I think last week I had finished one side panel and sewed it together. So this is the next side panel, working in earnest on it. So exciting! What we have to do there, I have the back and one side panel completed. I need to finish this side panel and then add the collar and get it also, no, I have to add the sleeves and then do the collar and then get it all together. So hard to say at what juncture I am in that sweater. That is using Red Heart Comfort in the colorway like Cafe Tweed, Mocha Tweed. Can I get a ball out to see the label? Here it is. Red Heart Comfort Latte Fleck. There you go. I believe this is long discontinued. I got this a couple years ago, dirt cheap from Mary Maxim. Alrighty, so I have 2 other projects to share with you. One is last year was my year of Amigurumi. I'm continuing that because the kiddos love Amigurumi. I've been working through this book, Crochet Cute Critters by Sarah Zimmerman, who is Repeat Crafter Me on the YouTubes. If you recall, last week I finished Lily the Lamb for bingo, and now we are making Max the Monkey for Mr. Chomps. He, of course, does not want traditional monkey colors. He wants an orange and red monkey with the main color orange. So here is Monkey's body. It's a little, it looks lumpier in the camera. I'm sure I can squeeze that and even it out a little bit. There you go, that's a little better. So here is Monkey's body. I will begin. I really only set goals on the priority projects, but this is one I want to keep a good tilt on. I think for next week, let's see, there's an eyepiece, a snout, and a head. Realistically, I would like to have the eyepiece and the snout done, but head would be cool. I mean, the eyepiece is like 1 round. And then the snout is 6 rounds. The head is 23 rounds. So there's a chance I can get the eyepiece, snout, and a head done. We can call that a stretch goal, but I'll get done what I get done when I get it done on that one. Like I said, it's not a priority project. So let's put this here. Let's put that in there for ease of return. Okay, the final project. Oops, I dropped my yarn ball. Final project I have is my daughter's Grow With Me dress. So, you know, I used to do socks as my nighttime project. I have a project that's something that's pretty simple that I can just do while I put the kiddos to sleep. This is now my nighttime project because I've moved the socks to the car because it's just such a reasonably sized project for the car. I also do that project when I take the girl to dance class, but she doesn't go to dance class now because of her broken arm. But she's doing very, very well with her arm, so cast comes off in about 2 weeks. Yay! Very exciting. I did more work on this, as you know. So the Grow With Me idea is inspired by Shannon from Another Yarn. She makes these projects for her grandbabies, and they are adorable. I had to steal the idea. So she uses a yarn with specific composition, and it is fingering sock weight yarn that's 93% acrylic, 7% PBT. Still haven't researched PBT, but she preferred to use Cozy Toes, but Cozy Toes has been discontinued. But we discovered that Premier Fruits sock yarn has the same composition. So that is what I am attempting. I have the colorway Plum. I have 5 of these. They're 50-gram balls. And so far, I am not yet 2 full balls in. And I am done with the bodice, and I am well on the way for a skirt or peplum. So the idea is this yarn has a bit of a stretch and bounce to it. So you make the garment slightly bigger than the child, you know, not so she's drowning, but slightly bigger than the child, on a needle that is slightly too big for the yarn. So this stretch, so there's a really good stretch. I mean, look at this. I can get this over my noggin if I wanted to with my glasses off. But, so it's got a nice stretch. She can wear it through the years. And if we make it like a dress or a tunic style, as she gets taller, the dress becomes a tunic, could become a top, depending on how long the bodice fits. But I've done little cap sleeves, so hopefully that will help extend the life of the garment a bit. And there we go. It's hard to tell there's a flare to the skirt because it's stuck on the needles, but there is. I'm increasing 16 stitches every other row. So I'm going to just keep doing that until it's as long as I feel like it's going to be. I have this much left of this ball of yarn, so I've used about half of it. And then I did take a little bit out of this ball of yarn for the sleeves. So I'm going to, my plan is to finish off this ball, add this ball, see where I end up, but I feel like these 3 balls of yarn will be a good size project. And then I will have 2 full balls left over. But if I get these done and say, no, I want to go bigger, I've got more in reserve. It's totally cool. This is going to be, it's going to be a fabulous project for her. She loves the colors. It will be wonderful. Okay. So that is all the crafty goodness I have. Oh, I wanted to say one thing, and I don't know what video to put this in, but I guess I'll do it here. Last week I opened, I have 2. I don't know why. I was only focused on this ball band, but I've got 2 to add to the collection. Last week I opened my first Southern Skeins yarn box, and it's a gift subscription. Included in there was a QR code to get a free pattern. I did get the pattern. I was very excited. It's the Aloe shawl. It's a very cute little shawl. I would be very ticked. And so this was given as a freebie with the box. And one can only assume it was meant that she kind of meant this for sale eventually. I don't know. But she presented it to the purchasers of this box as something. It's got tons of like left blank things in here. It has like the blurb and then it says photo credit, bracket name. Like she didn't insert the name. Dimensions. You can see it's just like she was meant to put something in there. The yardage isn't in there. It's just dummy placeholders. So you don't even know how much yarn to use. This, I paid nothing for it. It was included in the box, but presumably it was included as value to the box. But it's embarrassing. It's a pretty, like the instructions look okay. It's a pretty standard shape shawl. There's kind of a lacy bit at the end. The instructions look good. There's no graphs, but I don't know if there was ever intended to be a graph. There's a picot bind off. Literally at the end it says, about the designer. Include short bio and optional headshot. That's embarrassing. Okay. I just kind of wanted to share that so you know, because it is part of what you purchase in that box. And this is the first time I've done it, so I don't know if this is standard. I don't know if she uses these boxes as some sort of tester situation. If she does, that should be explained somewhere, so you don't have someone like me who's new to the box and going, what is this? What is this? But there you go. There's my review of this pattern. I don't know if I'll ever make it. I just kind of got the QR code and sent it straight to the printer. I didn't read it. Had I read it, I probably would have never sent it to the printer because it's kind of a waste of ink. Anyway, love to you all. That is the end of my crafty goodness. I will talk slightly about the book I'm reading and then give you a quick update on the state of the house since I've let you in on that situation a bit. So book if you're just here for the crafty goodness part, thank you so much for joining me. I love you. I'd love to know what you're working on. I'd love to know what yarn you're excited about, what keeps you going in the crafty times. I love it. If you have any pattern suggestions, I always love those. You know that. Moving on to the book, if you're part of the Empyrean obsession as I am, I am enjoying it. I have not had the time to read that I was hoping for. So I'm only about 70% through. I am getting achingly close to finishing the book, and things are getting so exciting right now. I really want to read it. My goal, I really hope to finish it this weekend. I think I can. We'll see. I'm jealous. Miss Ray from Ray's Yarn Addiction finally got it from her library, and she like devoured it in 2 days. I wish I could do that. But that's okay. That is okay. I believe this is a 5-book planned series. So this is the 3rd book. It's the middle book. If you follow the kind of traditional arc of a story, the middle book, the middle act of a play, the middle of it, you always put your characters in the worst danger you can. Traditionally, the middle is my least favorite of any trilogy or anything. They're not as fun. You don't want to see your friends put in danger. So I am prepared for feeling angst at the end of this book. I've read a lot of reviews. I try not to get into anything that's plot spoilery. I've read a lot of kind of mean stuff about this book, making fun of people who like it, saying anyone who likes it isn't a true, like attacking the reader for liking the book, which I think is absolutely awful. We don't yuck other people's yums. That is what we teach the kids. Let people like what they like. I've read reviews of this that are like, oh, it's not high fantasy. It's not meant to be high fantasy. I love high fantasy. I love Tolkien. I love C.S. Lewis. I love all of that. But this is fantasy. It's romantasy. It's meant to be like, not everything has to be serious. Sometimes you have the dessert. Sometimes you have candy. This is candy book. It's fun. It's some naughty bits. It's not overwhelmingly naughty. There is spice to it, so if you don't like spice, just avoid it. That's okay. If you want heavy spice, this will probably be too bland for you. But it's about the right amount of spice for me. I'm not the heavy spice. It scares me. But this I don't mind so much. It's okay. And it's okay to like what you like and enjoy what you enjoy. And don't let anyone make you feel bad for enjoying it. If I see any of those reviews, I immediately block and ignore the people, because any review that doesn't respect that someone might have a differing opinion than you is just, like, you have to at least acknowledge that people have different views, different opinions, different tastes, and that's okay in the world. It's okay in the world. We don't have to all like the same music. We don't have to all like the same books. We don't have to all like the same color palettes, you know? I am enjoying the book. It's, as I'm trying to say, it's fun, but it's kind of about war, and there are people dying, and that's not so fun. But it's just meant to be a lighter read, and that's what it is. That's what it purports to be, and that's what is delivered. The beginning of the book was rocky. It was often in a multi-book series. There's a period that every author reintroduces you to the world, and it's a bit of a softer landing. She went straight to the action. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What am I supposed to know what this plan is? What's going on? But it's also, she left it in a war you're re-entering it in a war. I'm not sure you're supposed to be eased in. I don't know. It took me a little bit to get back into it, but I am back into it, and I am enjoying it. And like I said, I am about 70% done, and I think I say his name different than other people, but I think most people say it Riddick, but I had read it before I heard it, and I say it as Rhydock. Which I think is kind of silly. Now, you know, Riddick kind of makes more sense, but I can't get Rhydock off of my head when I see R-I-D-O-C. I love him in this book. I love it. He was like the comic relief puppy dog in the first 2 books. He's come so central in the 3rd book. I love him to pieces. I am so scared that he's going to meet a fate at the end of the book because, you know, the red shirts. You always get scared of the side character that starts to, you know, the side character gets a puppy. Everything starts looking good for them. And then the worst happens. I'm very afraid for him. But that's okay. Don't spoil it. I don't want a spoiler. But I do feel I'm on edge about him. And I have also just been introduced to broccoli. So I... Oh. The original Krafting Kitty was an orange tabby cat. So an orange tabby cat will always have a special spot in my heart. I guess I haven't really gone into that much, but Krafting Kitty as an idea was first my Etsy shop where I was trying to sell cat toys back 15-ish years ago, because we had the cat and he was ill. He got diagnosed with diabetes and kidney failure and all of that, and we nursed him through about 4-ish, 5 years with the diagnosis, and finally his kidneys failed and they were beyond redemption. But at the time they didn't have pet medicine insurance, so we had to pay full price out of pocket for his insulin, and they don't make animal insulin. So we were having to buy, you know, human grade insulin to give to the cat. Now you gave it at very, very low doses, and human insulin degrades after time, but kind of working with our vet, you could move it well beyond the expiration for a human because it's a cat. But yeah, I opened that Krafting Kitty shop to try to sell some things to try to save the money to buy his insulin. And that's how Krafting Kitty was born. So I will always love the orange tabby cat. He was a special guy. Anyway, I don't know why I went into that story. I don't know. Oh, because we were talking about broccoli. He's an orange tabby cat. Actually, I don't know if it's a he. We'll have to see. The character has just been introduced to me. I don't think that's spoiling too much. But there you go. I hope to finish it this weekend and have a full report for you tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week. I will see you tomorrow with what? I'm not entirely sure yet, but you'll see me. Is that threatening? I hope not. Okay, love to you all. Be safe. Oh, I promised a health update. Bingo's arm is doing well. She's healing. It's not slowing her down one bit. I wish it would slow her down a little bit more. We weathered the ice storm just fine. That was crazy icy though. They didn't delay school the second day, and it was super icy. We live on a pretty steep hill, and coming down the hill was dangerous getting the kiddos to school. The pavement outside the school was heavily salted and treated, but it was still slippy. You could see the kids slipping all around. So I was just like, please do not fall again. We do not need 2 broken arms. We do not need to re-injure this arm. I got home from dropping the kids off. We live on a hill, and our driveway is pretty steep as well. And I parked the car, put on the emergency brake, turned the tires, slid down about a foot before the car came to rest. I was terrified. But we made it. We survived. Everything was fine. The sun came up and warmed everything, and the ice was gone by the time we had to pick the kids up from school, which was fantastic. Brian's pneumonia is doing better. He feels more energized. It's still there. He's still coughing, but he's not as tired, like walking up the steps or anything. So good progress there, but he's not, it's going to take him a while. I would say probably at least 6 weeks. Chomps did have to stay home from school last week with a virus. He had a fever. He spiked the fever last week Saturday, and then Sunday he was still feverish, but it broke middle of the night Sunday. So he stayed home from school Monday, went back on Tuesday, and yeah, he's okay. That part has resolved. Both he and Bingo have a lingering cough, but I've talked to the pediatrician's office, and they were like, if it's just a cough with no fever, no other concerns, they aren't like struggling to breathe, please don't bring them in. They are inundated. But basically with all these respiratory illnesses, give me a second, guys. Okay. They're seeing a cough that can linger up to 4 weeks. So we're monitoring, we're, encouraging him to hydrate, and her to hydrate as well, and doing the best we can, just like everybody else. So everybody out there, please stay safe, stay healthy. Oh, it's not good out there, but I do hear that the norovirus is trending down. So hopefully that one's moving out. We don't have to worry about that as much anymore. But I love you all. Please stay safe. Thank you so much for all of the love and support. I appreciate it more than you guys can ever know. I do not know how I have avoided any of the illnesses. I am saying I religiously wash my hands to the point that I have extra strength, cracked skin hand cream that I have to apply multiple days. And I do mask when somebody's sick, because we got to try to keep at least one adult functioning, right? But yeah, there you go. Love to you all. I'm not saying that's going to work for everybody, but so far it's been working for me. Yeah. Anyway, stay safe, stay kind. Love to you all. If you are suffering from any sort of illness in this horrible respiratory virus season, my heart goes out to you. I will keep you in my thoughts, and I hope you heal quickly and fully. Okay? Love you. Bye.